back for quarter number 3. Win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC Divisional round. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks at home, although not to my dad. He predicted the visitors would win. And maybe to the folks in the stadium, but you know who is not a surprise to, partner? This team with the football. They were very confident coming in.
Here's 2nd and 8. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Back to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. The Steelers send out their punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10, down at the 33. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there, 4th and 3.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
And his kick here is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you'll see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this third quarter, so time to retool a bit.
and probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. They go play action here on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. A Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc. Because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to zip through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Rolling, and he's going to lose a yard or two. Taken down behind the line. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. And that'll be incomplete. A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Being chased out left. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Oh, man. Just when the D thought they had the answer for him, he went and changed the question. Surprises him by taking off himself. He's able to set up his offense pretty with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be 2nd and goal. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It'll go as a sack for a loss of a yard, and now it'll be 3rd and goal.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking.
Well, the pressure gets to him again. A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the lead grows to 14 at 24-10. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 4. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. 2nd and 4. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That's good for 28 yards. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
A 3rd and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That 5th defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's Raider football here, but they're on the short side of the scoreboard right now as we begin the 4th. And his kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Fighting his way through contact. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And now 1st downs are key. They want to keep that clock moving up by 2 scores as they try to cement their place in the conference championship round in 1 week's time. Wide open receiver complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, they'll go back to the run game. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Second and 11 now. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And only a couple there as he'll take this up to the 47.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this could be the defining moment of their season, all hyperbole aside. You're trailing here in the fourth quarter, the divisional round, and they need to come up with something as they get this drive started. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And now following the completion, we're going to get a stoppage here for an injury. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll set up a throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They'll drop to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. So he stopped for no gain. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. He can't get him down. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Steelers set to take the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in the... But maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. He'll look to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Oh, he sheds himself free. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. And the Steelers on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And he fires one, but incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there. forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. He'll look to throw. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And all the way down to the 5. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So down inside the 5-yard line. I have to say, really just a poor job defensively there.
You're exactly right. As a former defensive back, that was not played well at all. But give credit to the offense and give credit to the guy running the football. He gets it down all the way inside the 5.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
He'll drop to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, on that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
That's caught, and he will not get in here, although there is a flag down, but from the players' reactions, this might be on the offense. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And this has been a tight game to this point. Of course, they usually are at this juncture of the playoffs. But with the lead in the football, the clock right now their friend as they try to book their spot in the conference championship next Sunday. They'll work from the 36 on 2nd and 6. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. The interception sets them up with an opportunity to erase this 4th quarter deficit. And this series could very well determine our outcome. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Steelers' 33-yard line.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They'll look to throw here on first down.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
And this defense definitely in his head there on 3rd down, and he's pretty fortunate. They didn't call him for grounding on this one. That was a good 10 feet over everyone's head.
In motion goes the tight end. Fighting to stay upright. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. So the failure to convert no doubt really hurts, but this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help them big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. They're going to look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A 40-yard punt, give him 3 on the return. So the Raiders now down by 5, a little under 1:50 remaining. A touchdown likely means they move on in these playoffs. Tense moments for the hometown faithful as they've got it with a 1st down. Back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. This is where, of course, it's good to have a veteran quarterback under center.
You would just be able to put on one of those blood pressure clips, and nothing would be different for him. He's done it many times before, expects to get it accomplished again.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete.
Now 2nd and 4.
He's back to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. They'll look to throw. He's got this one complete to Fountain.
Here comes 2nd down.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is caught inside the 5. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
CD, that was an all-or-nothing drive to win this football game, and they rose to the occasion to take the lead here in the waning moments.
And how about how they got it done? No timeouts left. They take it downfield, execute perfectly, and get it done. Now they don't leave their opponent with a heck of a lot of time on the clock.
So now an extra point doesn't help much. They'll try to go for 2 to make the difference a field goal, and they can lead it by 3.
Line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll look to throw. And he's got it here for the 2 points, but there is a marker down, so we'll have to see what that's about. Wow, a personal foul at this stage in the fourth. Hard to believe.
Really hard to believe, and now that glow of hope that you had begins to flicker out, doesn't it?
Yep. Now it's the Steelers' turn, trailing by 3 after the touchdown and 2-point conversion. 24 seconds to go. A field goal could get this playoff game to overtime, but this crowd, they are going to make it tough as they line up 1st and 10. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Playoff lives at stake. Boy, this is a big one. 3rd down.
They'll set up to throw. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They've got to burn the timeout, and they do, but a costly sack. And now maybe just time for one final play.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and as a result, their playoff run may end right here. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And they will take a knee here. Well, on both sides, you come into this game with so much hope, so much build-up, looking to move on. One side gets to do that, but let's not forget the others. Tough pill to swallow.
It really is, because there's so much hard work, effort. You mentioned the hope to go on and maybe play in the big game itself. Well, let's see how they handle it, though. The offseason is going to be a long one for them because it's going to eat their heart out watching other people continue to play. But can they come back the next year and find it in them to make that same run again and maybe find a way to advance?
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. Celebration time tonight on the Strip as we say so long from Las Vegas.